What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jacob, and I'm here to just talk about myself and how I started skateboarding and why I love skateboarding so much. Because originally I was going to be doing a front shove it and a back shove it tutorial, but it's been raining all day and it's looking like that's not going to happen. But anyway, so as I said, my name's Jacob Anderson. I'm from Binghamton, New York. Born and raised there. 27 years old. I started skateboarding when I was about 7, but I got into skateboarding. Like I fell in love with skateboarding when I was about 5 or 6. I can't remember exactly, but I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for the PS1, and I fell in love. I wanted to be just like Tony Hawk. I remember spending so many nights and days just playing that game, and then all the sequels that came out. I was just obsessed. I wanted to be just like Tony Hawk. I wanted to be out there skating. I wanted to do all this cool stuff. And then come my 7th birthday, I got my first skateboard. Really, you know how it is when you first start skateboarding. You don't know anything about it. Your parents don't know anything about it. So my mom, she got me a skateboard. And it was from Walmart. I think it was Walmart. It might have been from Kmart. I don't know. One of those stores. But you know, those really bad decks. Flat, they have nothing, no concave, no real tail, they flex super much, plastic trucks, and bearings and wheels that don't spin whatsoever. But that's how I started, and I mean, it worked for a year or two. I don't remember when I got my first like actual skateboard. I remember my first actual skateboard. I had to be probably 10 or 11, and it was a World Industries board with Red Venture trucks, and I don't remember the wheels. The wheels were hand-me-down. A kid in the neighborhood gave them to me. But that's what I started out on. And I ended up moving when I was about 10 or 11 to this really sketchy neighborhood up in Binghamton, New York. Munsell Street area. If you're from there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I lived there for a while, and I got lucky, because the pavement was just torn up on the street completely. They completely tore everything up and put brand new blacktop down. So when I moved, it was super smooth out front. So smooth. And it was the perfect place to practice. And I would skate just out front by myself, practicing learning how to ollie, practicing shove it, trying to learn heel flips and kick flips. Kick flips. There's a trick I could not land for like 8 years. I don't know, there's just something about kickflips I can't do. Heel flips, no problem. V-heels, no problem. Laser flips, I had them for a while, but I ended up losing them because I stopped skating for a long while. We'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I just grew up skating out front of my house, and I would just practice every day. And then there was a kid in my neighborhood who ended up he lived down the street, he wanted to skate with me, and we found ourselves just out there every single day, skateboarding and just messing around on our boards, trying to just get better. We would race down the street, we would play tag. I had a porch, it had a 4-set on it. That was my first, actually my second 4-set. My first 4-set was actually my neighbor, a kid. He didn't skate. He wasn't a skateboarder, but he was a kid I had in my elementary school class, and we were friends. And he lived across the street, and I would just skate his porch. I did his 4-set with a fake board before I got a real board. This was before I even lived in the neighborhood. But yeah, I had a 4-set out front of my house, and I would skate that. I ended up getting a giant pallet. Like, when I mean giant pallet, I mean this pallet was at least 6 feet wide and 20 feet long. It was long. It was almost as long as my whole porch, and I had a really long porch. But we would take that and some plywood, and we would make wall rides. We made our own little super ghetto, super sketchy quarter pipe on my stairs. There was no real lip or anything, and we would just practice like ollies to fakies, shove-its to fakies, all that good stuff. But yeah, I skated like that. That's how I started skating, like learning how to do tricks and like taking skating serious. I just skated out front of my house. I skated the curb, I skated my stairs. I just raced up and down the street. There was a driveway that had a hill in it. I would practice on that. Then that was it. And then I hit like 13 or 14. And my mom, I lived really close to my local skate park, first of all. I lived really close. It was like 3 blocks away behind the Kmart. It was literally like a 7-minute walk, 4.5-minute skate, if that. And when I turned about 13, 14-ish, my mom decided to be like, yeah, you can go to the skate park. You can go, you can be there, just be home by dark. And so I ended up going there to Sherry Lindsay Skate Park. That's my hometown skate park. It's actually my first YouTube video on here. But I ended up going there. At this point, my friend group, it went from 2 to 3. My mom had a friend that she let move in with us, and she had a son. His name was, well, we're not going to give him his real name because I don't have permission. But we're going to just call him Patches. And Patches, he was the third wheel in our group. Not like that, but he was like, all 3 of us, we were like inseparable for the longest time. All we did was skate, hang out, do whatever we did as fucking young teenagers. And I would start going to the skate park. And that's where I really started progressing at skateboarding. That's where I learned how to skate quarter. I learned how to drop in. What else? I learned so much there. I met so many cool people. And that's where, when I met new people at the skate park, I started getting so much better. I started spending all my excess time. Whenever I wasn't in school, whenever I didn't have anything to do, I was just skateboarding. Whether it was at the skate park or just out front of my house. Most of the time it was just out front of my house, let's be honest. I was like 13, 14. I was still nervous. I wasn't going to the skate park all the time. But slowly I grew into going to the skate park every day. And I would spend, like weekends, I would spend easily 12 hours at the skate park. And then if I wasn't at the skate park, I was out front skating. Unless it was dark. If it was dark, who am I kidding? I was inside playing Xbox 360, playing Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4. Best Call of Duty there is, in my opinion. But, yeah. I would just skate in my spare time. And I started getting really good. I was progressing really quickly. And I started doing big drops. I wasn't good at doing like kick flips down drops. I wasn't good at doing like flip tricks down drops. But when it came to ollieing things, I would ollie anything you would throw at me. 7 sets, 8 sets, 10 sets, big gaps. And I loved it. And then I started skating the bowl at the skate park, and I fell in love with vert, just skating quarters and vert, doing stalls. I never got around to learning airs. I started learning them, and then I just never got around to actually committing. But I would skate quarter non-stop all the time. It was actually my biggest... Did I do that? No, I don't think... I had a really sketchy 5-set at my park. I was really intimidating. It's not high, but the stairs are extra long. And it was just something that... something I wasn't comfortable with for the longest time. But I think when I turned about 15, 16, I was really good at that point. I was not in my prime, but I was almost in my prime. My prime was about between 17 and 20. And 15 to 16 is when I started doing drops, getting really good at drops. And that summer, I think it was my summer of my 16. The first thing I would do, I would go to the skate park. I would ollie the set. I wouldn't warm up. I wouldn't skate around the park. My go-to was just ollie the 5-set, and then that was my warm up. And then I just go skate. But then, sadly, I got into partying and smoking and drinking when I was about 16, 17. And that ended up starting, don't get me wrong, I still skated a lot. It was either school when I went. I skipped school a lot, sadly, because I was a dumb teenager. What can I say? But if I wasn't in school, I wasn't, like, with my friends drinking and partying, I was skateboarding still. But that's when I actually started getting really good. Between 17 and 19, I was just skating non-stop all the time. I was going bigger, doing bigger things. I was clearing, there's this quarter pipe I have at my skate park. It's about 5 feet, and then it has a deck on top that's like 6 feet, 7 feet long. And I was learning how to like air out of that. I was skating the Tombstone at my park. And yeah, between 17 to 20 is when I really took off in skateboarding. I got really good. And then I just, I started partying and drinking too much. And I didn't skate as much. And that was an issue. And then when I hit about 22, I got my first BMX bike. And then skateboarding took a backseat to that because I wanted to get good at BMX because my buddy, he BMX and I was hanging out with him every day and I wanted to learn. And being honest, I never got very far with BMX. I did it for like 3 years. I still do it on every now and then, but it's not like when I was 22 to 25. Between those years, I was just mainly BMXing, and I regret it because I lost a lot of the confidence, a lot of the skill, a lot of the balance that I had with my skateboarding. I mean, I was still decent, but I wasn't ready to just do giant drops anymore. I wasn't as comfortable on transitions, and yeah, just, you know how it is. Like after you don't do something for a while, you get really rusty. But then I also, between 23 and 24, I lived in an area where I had nothing. I lived in pretty much farmland. There was nothing to skate, nothing to bike. I would only go if I had a ride down to Binghamton, and I almost never did. So I ended up just drinking and smoking and putting on some weight. And putting on some weight while skateboarding, like if you take a hiatus from skateboarding and you gain some weight, getting on your board is completely different because your weight distribution is completely different than what you remember it being. Going from 180 to, what was it, 230? It was a complete shift in how I had to ride my board, the balance, and then the rustiness of just not skating like I used to. I had trouble doing kick flips, heel flips, everything. I could still ollie high, because ollies, like I said, back in the day, I ollied everything. Box fan in the street, bushes that were low enough, stair sets, upstairs, downstairs. Ollie, I just love ollies. I love just popping as high as I can. It's great. But then when I hit 25, I was down in Florida, and I got back into skateboarding, and I loved it. I fell back in love with the sport immediately, and I was like, I'm going to stop biking as much and just focus on skating, because that's what I like to do. That is my go-to, is skateboarding. And sorry for the long pauses. This is my first like actual YouTube. I was thinking I would edit this and cut this out, but no, I just want to be honest with you guys. This is my first time like talking to the camera, and like I didn't write a script or anything. This is just off the top of my head, so don't mind the awkwardness and the pauses, and it'll get better down the road when I get more used to talking to the camera. It's kind of awkward the first couple times, right? But yeah, I turned 25, moved in Florida. I got back into skateboarding, and here I am now, 27. I made a video last year. It was my first little edit. I filmed it terribly. It's actually the first video on my channel. I mean, I wouldn't even recommend checking it out. I mean, check it out. Like, please do. I enjoy the support, but like, it's nothing that great. And now at this point, I do landscaping full time, but I want to do landscaping part time. I love the job. I want to get back into skateboarding. I want to make content. I want to do what I want to do. I want to get my hobbies back, because what's the point of living life if you're not doing the things you enjoy? So that's why I'm starting this channel. That's why I'm making videos now. And yeah, but anyway, that's just a little backstory on me and how I started skateboarding and stuff. But yeah, let's take a look at my setup, my current setup. This is my current setup right now. It's a girl. Hello Kitty Anniversary Girl to be exact. I don't know who Miles Bennett is. That's the pro whose deck this is. I don't know who he is. But 8.135 is what I skate. I'll try to skate. I skate 8s to 8.5, but 1.38 is my favorite. It might be, I don't remember exactly what I said. But yeah, and then I got Tensor Hollow Lights, decent trucks. I got Ricta Smooths. Those are the wheels I'm using. They're not the skate park. The skate park I have around me now. Yeah. The skate park I have around me now. I had Ricta slides. They have red. Ooh. They have a red strip here to help you slide on ledges and rails, but they were very hard wheels, and because my local park, excuse me, people driving by real loud, but my local park, it was all smooth concrete, so they were hard wheels and they worked perfectly fine. But now where I'm living, the skate park by me is all blacktop, so I had to switch to the Ricta Smooths because they're a little bit softer and they roll on the blacktop better because it's not really smooth. And then for bearings, I've got Bone Swiss bearings. Oh, this custom grip, by the way. My girlfriend hand painted this for me, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, that's my setup. I'm probably going to throw in some old clips of me skating from back in the day. And like, subscribe, and let me know how I can improve on my videos and what you want to know about me, what you want to see more of. I mean, obviously you're not seeing a lot yet because this is the third video on the channel and this is the first time talking to the camera. But yeah, seriously, if you want to support me, if you like skateboarding, if you're just feeling generous, just leave a like, subscribe if possible. I mean, it really helps me out. I'm obviously not trying to get huge. I'm just trying to have enough people to interact with. That's all. But anyway, have a great day, and get out there and fucking skate, dude.
Oh, there we go. Oh. Yeah, you got it. Oh, got it.